Inniu Seanad Niall O'Donnell.
Rhaid a caharlaí agus ribhdú fáilte chur ribh Linda, bhhailm just ar dúsbar ahans go bhfuil uachtar an nu a hafa conú na Gaeilge Paula Melvin lin in St Gallery agus dar noia Archstúrthóir Coltas Ceoltar Éireann an Seanad Laras O'Murrow the fáilte roh Birch agus Ian a special a lin a liganiu. Linda agus Brian, to far in the Fáilte Rove, I want to begin by saying it's great to see a few more East Belfast people in the chamber. You're very welcome, and I have watched on with great delight, Linda, your work and the work of TURAS and those who are on the journey with you. Because I know you would acknowledge that there has been a great team around you for all of the negativity that you've received. You've had a lot of support, which I know has been a great warmth and importance to you as you've led on this journey. As I said, Linda, you and I are both from East Belfast. We're both from different backgrounds. We're both from different traditions. Both have different worldviews, or so they would tell us. And doesn't it say something that what unites us, what the commonality that we have, is what so many would seek to label as being divisive? That is the Irish language. That's what binds us. That's the tie that binds. And it's important, and Senator McDowell reflected on the history of the Gaeilge League. The first branch of the Gaeilge League in Belfast was established on the Beersbridge Road. What's now a very staunchly and very proud unionist and loyalist part of the city. And I know part of your work in TURAS has been to share that unique history and to tell not just the PUL community, but everyone, all of us here today and anyone, that that is the history of the language in our city and indeed throughout the rest of the country. My old secondary school, Bhí Feirste, was established in the early 90s in a former Presbyterian church on the Falls Road, another wee symbol of our differences and our linkages. It was set up in Culterland McAdam O'Fee, named after the late Cardinal O'Fee, a great scholar and advocate of the Irish language, and Robert Shipboy McAdam, a Presbyterian who was part of that generation of Presbyterians who done crucial work in preserving the language and keeping that flame alive. So as someone who passed through that education sector, I'm acutely aware, because we were taught the history of Protestants preserving the language and handing it down to us. And you are the contemporary representation of that, Linda. What you're doing is so special at TURAS. And I don't say that to be cliched or to give you any plumas. I just want to say it because not only is TURAS and its ethos and its work important because you're reawakening an awareness of the Irish language amongst the PUL community, but it's because, like so many others across this country and beyond, you're sharing and teaching and learning and speaking the Irish language. Landstad. That's the jewel in this. That's the real crux of the importance. And I know you'll want to get to the point where it doesn't really matter who you are, where you're coming from, but what's important, what's special, is learning and sharing and speaking the language. I remember when TURAS came to visit me at the parlour in City Hall when I was Lord Mayor, and when you walked with us on the St Patrick's Day parade, took a wee bit of flack for that at the time, if I recall correctly. It's a very small group of people, and now you have some of the biggest, if not the biggest, Irish language classes in the city happening on the Lower Newtownards Road. Who 10 or 15 years would have thought that possible? The elephant in the room, Linda, when we come to talk about the Irish language, and Senator Clifford Lee mentioned it, is the need for legislation that protects you and protects protects me, protects our community, protects all of us. It develops and enriches our society. You're doing fantastic work. I know you're probably scundered sitting there having to listen to all of this, but we're delighted to have you. It's important that we have more opportunities to hear voices like yours in this institution. So Guillaume Gahra the Codjibra Tamesul Gamor La Lord Lad, and in particular Cahirlach, just to finish on this, Níoscol na Seolta is something else, and I wish you every success with it, because that's where this is at. It's about giving the language to young children, letting them learn it, letting them live it, letting them speak it. So, Gaeilge Gaeilge agus gur céad míle maigad as a bhéilinn.